On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Drag.
To pull or haul with force.
Examples:
Drag a chair over. Drag a team down. He dragged the heavy suitcase behind him as he walked.
Horizontal.
Parallel to the ground or in a baseline, being at the same level as all members of a group.
Examples:
Horizontal lines. Horizontal stripes. Airplanes need horizontal tails to improve stability.
Crucifix.
A representation of a cross with a figure of Jesus Christ crucified on it, used as an emblem of Christianity or as an aid to devotion. A cross bearing a representation of Christ.
Examples:
Crucifix pendant. Silver crucifix. The crucifix on the wall served as a reminder of their faith.
Vice.
Wrongdoing or wicked behavior, in the form of vice versa, with the order reversed. As a prefix, someone with a job immediately below a particular person.
Examples:
Virtue and vice. Vice chair of the committee. Cats hate dogs and vice versa.
Grip.
The act of holding on to something firmly with your hands, or the ability to do so. Verb, to hold fast or firmly.
Examples:
Grip of fear. Lose my grip. He had a firm grip on the rope as he climbed the mountain.
Forearm.
The part of a person's arm between the elbow and the wrist. Verb, to arm in advance of a confrontation.
Examples:
Forearm bone. Several veins of the forearm. The accident left him with numbness in his left forearm.
Struggle.
To make a great effort to do something when it is difficult, or there are a lot of problems, to use force or violence to break away from restraint or constriction.
Examples:
Struggle against discrimination. Struggle to get the job. He could not struggle against temptation.
Breath.
The air that is taken into and expelled from your lungs. The process of taking into and expelling air from your lungs.
Examples:
Hold your breath. Breath of wind. He bated his breath when talking about this affair.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Inquest.
A legal inquiry or investigation into the cause and circumstances of a death, particularly one that may have been caused by criminal activity.
Examples:
Coroner inquest. Hold an inquest. The police have launched an inquest into the cause of the fatal accident.
Injury.
Harm done to a person's or an animal's body caused by an accident or an attack.
Examples:
Without injury. A fatal injury. My accidental injury got better right away.
Bruising.
Discoloration of the skin caused by an injury or trauma to the underlying blood vessels, figuratively, the emotional or psychological damage caused by someone's actions or words, adjective, of or relating to something that causes physical or emotional harm, damage, or injury.
Examples:
Severe bruising. Emotional bruising. The athlete's bruising injury prevented them from playing in the championship game.
Torso.
The human trunk from the neck to the abdomen.
Examples:
Torso injury. A torso in bronze. He was hit in the torso and was rushed to the hospital.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples:
Claim responsibility. False claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Corridor.
A hallway or passageway, especially one connecting rooms or areas within a building or structure.
Examples:
Walk along a corridor. Air corridor. The long corridor was filled with people rushing to get to their rooms before the meeting began.
Custody.
The state of being physically responsible for something or someone, especially a child, a state of being confined, usually for a short time.
Examples:
Take a person into custody. Custody arrangement. After a lengthy court battle, the child's custody was granted to the father.
Kingdom.
The country ruled by a king or queen.
Examples:
Establish his kingdom. A subordinate kingdom. By remaining neutral, this kingdom continued to exist.
Continent.
One of the Earth's large landmasses. Adjective, abstaining from your feelings, especially your desire to have sex.
Examples:
The inland of a continent. Continent urinary diversion. Flight across the continent was a daring adventure in its day.
Racism.
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people based on their membership in a particular ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Examples:
Systemic racism. Research on anti-racism. The school's lack of diversity was a clear indication of the racism present in the community.
Myth.
An ancient story or set of stories accepted as history, especially explaining the worldview of a people.
Examples:
The myth of an old religion. Perpetuate a myth. With the financial bubble bursting, the myth of economic growth in investment banking collapsed.
Illusion.
A false idea or belief, especially about somebody or about a situation.
Examples:
Optical illusion. Illusion of being in forest. He could no longer tell the difference between illusion and reality.
Descent.
The act or process of moving downward, a person's family origins.
Examples:
Descent from nobility. Descent of family. The descent from the mountain was steep and rocky.
Genetically.
In a way that relates to or is produced by genes, equals the units in the cells of a living thing received by an animal or plant from its parents, or heredity.
Examples:
Genetically inherited traits. Genetically manipulated plant. The genetically modified crops were resistant to pests and required less water.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples:
Evolutionary biology. Cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Construct.
To build or create something, to assemble or combine different parts to form something whole.
Examples:
Construct a 3D image. Construct a dam. He constructs hypotheses that no mathematician has ever imagined before.
Invention.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
The invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Visible.
Capable of being seen or open to easy view.
Examples:
Visible stars. Visible by X-ray. My home is easily visible from the shore.
External.
Belonging to or situated outside of someone or something.
Examples:
External factors. External commerce. When a company discloses information to the market, an external auditor verifies them.
Characteristic.
A typical feature or quality that can identify, tell apart, or describe something or somebody.
Examples:
Stripes characteristic of the zebra. My friend's characteristic laugh. Bananas have their characteristic taste and odor.
Promote.
To encourage or persuade people to like, buy, use, do, or support something, to raise someone to a higher position or rank.
Examples:
Promote a better relationship. Promote bad behavior. The government should do more to promote sustainable agribusiness.
Racist.
Characterized by or showing discrimination or prejudice against people of other races. Noun, a person with a prejudiced belief that one racial group is superior to others.
Examples:
Far-right racist. Racist attitudes. The racist comments made by the politician caused widespread condemnation.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
Have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Racial.
Of or related to the race, equals classification of humans into groups based on physical traits or social relations.
Examples:
Racial prejudice. Racial and ethnic backgrounds. A minor racial conflict later led to a civil war.
Endemic.
Of a disease or other problem, regularly found among particular people or in a certain area.
Examples:
Endemic disease. Cholera endemic area. Malaria is endemic in many tropical countries.
Keen.
Having or showing quick and eager intelligence or interest.
Examples:
Keen interest. Keen observation. He was keen to learn more about the subject and attended every lecture.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Eugenic.
Relating to or promoting the improvement of the human genetic stock, particularly through controlled breeding, to enhance desirable traits among offspring.
Examples:
Eugenic screening. Eugenic movement. That government had once implemented a series of eugenic policies to improve the population's genetic makeup.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Dual.
Having two parts, aspects, or elements.
Examples:
Dual purpose. Dual nationality. This laptop has a dual-core processor, making it fast and efficient.
Aboriginal.
Relating to the people, culture, or history of the original inhabitants of a particular region, especially before the arrival of colonizers or settlers. Indigenous.
Examples:
Aboriginal art. Aboriginal land. Many Aboriginal cultures have deep spiritual connections to the land and its natural resources.
Heritage.
The culture and traditions that are passed down from previous generations.
Examples:
Heritage site. Historical heritage. The heritage of the city is reflected in its architecture.
Confiscate.
To seize, take or appropriate something by authority, often as a penalty for breaking laws or rules.
Examples:
Confiscate drugs. Confiscate property. The security officer had to confiscate the weapon from the suspect.
Alt-right.
Abbreviation for alternative right, a political movement or group characterized by extreme conservative, nationalist, or authoritarian beliefs, often associated with white supremacy or xenophobic attitudes.
Examples:
Alt-right politics. Alt-right media. The radical beliefs of the alt-right movement have been widely criticized for promoting hate and intolerance.
Hanker.
To crave, desire, or long for something, typically something that is hard to obtain or attain, to have a strong and persistent desire for something.
Examples:
Hanker at the chance. Hanker for adventure. I hanker for a warm cup of tea on a cold, rainy day.
Purity.
The state of being undiluted or unmixed with anything else, the state of being free from immorality, especially of a sexual nature.
Examples:
The degree of purity. High purity. Higher purity requires additional equipment and energy.
Homeland.
A place regarded as one's native country or where one belongs.
Examples:
Beloved homeland. Homeland pride. I miss my homeland and the familiar sights, sounds, and smells.
Inequality.
The unfairness of a society in which some people have more opportunity, money, etc. than others. Mathematics, relation between two values when they are different.
Examples:
Inequality in salary. Algebraic inequality. There are several causes of economic inequality within societies.
Apartheid.
A system of racial segregation and discrimination that was enforced in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. Any similar system of discrimination or segregation based on race, ethnicity, or other factors.
Examples:
Apartheid system. Apartheid policies. The South African government enforced apartheid laws that segregated people based on race.
Exploitation.
The process of making some area of land or water more profitable or productive or useful.
Examples:
Sexual exploitation. The exploitation of fossil resources. Strategic exploitation of cutting-edge technology would be a sure formula for success.
Discriminate.
To treat a person or particular group of people worse or better than another, especially in an unfair way, to recognize or perceive the difference between people or things.
Examples:
Discriminate against women employees. Discriminate between different things. You should not discriminate against minorities.
Superior.
Better, higher in quality, or more advanced than others.
Examples:
Superior performance. Provide superior customer service. The new smartphone model is superior to the previous version in terms of speed and features.
Inferiority.
The state or condition of being lower in rank, quality, or status, a feeling or sense of being less worthy or capable than others.
Examples:
Inferiority complex. Inferiority mindset. The professor's scathing comments left the student with a sense of inferiority about their work.
Regime.
The organization, a system, or method that is the governing authority of a political unit.
Examples:
A puppet regime. Exercise regime. Totalitarian regimes are less likely to innovate because they deprive individuals of economic incentives.
Inevitable.
Certain to happen and unavoidable.
Examples:
Inevitable changes of the seasons. Inevitable result. In times of recession, an increase in unemployment is inevitable.
Injustice.
A violation of the rights of others or the laws of a society.
Examples:
Gross injustice. Injustice system. The injustice of the court's decision angered many people and led to protests.
Suffer.
To experience pain, distress, or hardship, to undergo or endure something painful or unpleasant.
Examples:
Suffer a setback. Suffer bad grades. The older man suffers from arthritis and finds it difficult to move around.
Colonize.
To establish a colony in or on a specific place, to settle or occupy in large numbers.
Examples:
colonize planets, colonize for cultivation. European powers colonized much of the Americas in the 16th and 17th centuries.
Empire.
A group of countries ruled by one leader or government.
Examples:
empire building, Empire of the Maya. He has built a thriving e-commerce empire.
Caste.
A social class or group, typically determined by birth or occupation, that has a particular status in a society.
Examples:
military caste, caste-based discrimination. He was born into a lower caste and faced discrimination throughout his life.
Victim.
A person who has been harmed, injured, or otherwise negatively affected by a particular action, circumstance, or event.
Examples:
victim support, victim compensation. The victim of the crime deserves justice and support to recover from the trauma.
Mechanism.
A part of a machine, or a set of parts that performs a task, a natural or established process that occurs during a specific situation or reaction.
Examples:
the mechanism for DNA replication, defense mechanism. He discovered unique mechanisms for photochemical reactions.
Label.
A small piece of paper, fabric, or other material attached to an object and giving information about it. Verb, to assign to a category.
Examples:
a mailing label, label a bag with my name. The label on the food package lists the ingredients and nutritional information.
Embrace.
To accept something willingly and enthusiastically. Noun, the act of clasping another person in the arms as in greeting or affection.
Examples:
embrace an opportunity, a warm embrace. The woods embrace the house.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples:
a breach of privilege, privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
Jail.
A facility where criminals are kept to be punished for their crimes, a prison.
Examples:
county jail, be in jail. The police escorted the prisoner to the jail.
Oxygen.
The chemical element with the symbol O that is present in air and water and is necessary for people, animals, and plants to live.
Examples:
The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Lack of oxygen. The passenger grabbed for the oxygen mask.
Atmosphere.
The mass of air that surrounds the earth, the pervading tone or mood of a place, situation, or creative work.
Examples:
Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. A convivial atmosphere. The spaceship began to burn up as it approached the Earth's atmosphere.
Infect.
To affect a person, an animal, or a plant with a disease-causing organism.
Examples:
Infect other animal species. Infect a computer with a virus. Children often infect parents with this head cold.
Asylum.
Protection granted to someone who has left their home country as a political refugee.
Examples:
Grant asylum. Asylum law. The refugees sought asylum in the neighboring country.
Sub-Saharan.
Of or relating to or situated in the area south of the Sahara Desert.
Examples:
Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan countries. The coffee producers in sub-Saharan countries are at the sharp end of fluctuations in price.
Qualm.
A feeling of doubt, worry, or unease about something, especially an ethical issue.
Examples:
With no qualm. A frightful qualm. She had a qualm about traveling alone, but eventually decided to go.
Scratch.
To cut or damage the surface of something or the skin with a sharp or pointed object.
Examples:
Scratch off a name. Scratch my signature. Don't scratch your mosquito bites.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Prospect.
The possibility or likelihood of something happening or being successful. A person or thing that is likely to succeed or become popular. A potential customer or client. Verb. To explore for useful or valuable things or substances, such as minerals.
Examples:
Prospect for gold. Job prospects. The prospect of starting a new business can be both exciting and daunting.
Judge.
A person who makes decisions in a court of law. Verb. To determine the result of or form a critical opinion of something.
Examples:
Judge a competition. An associate judge. The strict judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff in the case.
Judgment.
The ability to form valuable opinions and make reasonable decisions.
Examples:
An emotional judgment. Deliver a judgment. Her judgments are consistently rational and sensible.
Systemic.
Affecting or related to the whole of something, especially the human body or a society.
Examples:
The systemic arteries. Systemic reforms of the organization. This vaccine causes mild systemic side effects.
Uncomfortable.
Providing or feeling physical discomfort or slight pain.
Examples:
An uncomfortable silence. With an uncomfortable face. His abusive words made me uncomfortable.
Dam.
A wall constructed over a river to block the flow of water, mainly used to generate energy.
Examples:
Dam building program. Dam collapsing. The break in the dam threatened the valley.
Bristle.
A stiff, short hair on a mammal's skin or a natural or artificial brush, a stiff, sharp point on a plant such as a thorn or a prickle. Verb, to react defensively to something, to stand up stiffly and be rigid.
Examples:
Bristle brush. Bristle with anger. The dog's bristle on its back stood up as it growled at the mailman.
Defend.
To protect someone or something from attack, criticism, danger, etc.
Examples:
Defend my country. Defend against a threat. International law allows each nation to defend itself when its rights and interests are illegally violated.
Unequal.
Different in amount, size, degree, or value, not fair.
Examples:
Unequal distribution. Unequal opportunity. The income inequality in the country is becoming increasingly unequal.
Division.
The act or outcome of splitting into separate parts, a critical organizational unit or sector.
Examples:
Cellular division. Division chief. Which division of the company do you work in?
Wealth.
A large amount of money, property, or other things that someone or an organization owns.
Examples:
Majority of his wealth. Material wealth. The wealth inequality was unavoidable.
Fragility.
The quality of being easily broken, damaged, or destroyed, the state of being delicate or vulnerable.
Examples:
Fragility of life. Emotional fragility. The fragility of the glass required careful handling during shipping.
Exclusion.
The act of keeping someone or something out or preventing them from participating in or being part of something.
Examples:
Gender exclusion. Exclusion criteria. The policy of exclusion has caused significant harm to marginalized communities.
Disproportionately.
In a way that is not reasonably or appropriately balanced, equal, or distributed, in a manner that is unequal or excessive about something else.
Examples:
Disproportionately affected. Disproportionately high. The rich can often disproportionately benefit from tax breaks and other advantages.
Coronavirus.
A large family of viruses that can cause illness in humans and animals, which name comes from the crown-like spikes on the surface of the virus, which can be seen under a microscope, and COVID-19 is caused by a specific type of coronavirus known as SARS-CoV-2.
Examples:
Coronavirus antibody test kit. Coronavirus bankruptcy. Considering the situation of coronavirus, organized stopped this year's beer festival.
Invisible.
Impossible or nearly impossible to see.
Examples:
An invisible asset. Invisible stars. The phenomenon is invisible at optical wavelengths.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Binary.
A system of numbers that uses only two digits, 0 and 1.
Examples:
A binary number. Trading in binary options. A binary star is a system in which two stars revolve around each other.
Adopt.
To choose to follow something, to legally take a child from another family and care for them as if they were one's own.
Examples:
Adopt a child. Adopt a bill. The National Assembly has adopted the budget.
Conscious.
Being aware of and able to respond to what is happening around you.
Examples:
Conscious effort. Conscious of having succeeded. He became conscious that he was being followed.
Stance.
A way of thinking about something, especially expressed publicly, attitude or position of a standing person or animal.
Examples:
Change her stance. The batting stance. He continued to support her political stance.
Jury.
A group of people called upon to render a verdict or judgment in a legal trial. A group of people chosen for a special purpose or task.
Examples:
Jury verdict. Jury duty. The judge instructed the jury on the law and the evidence presented in the trial.
Courtroom.
A room in which a court of law is held.
Examples:
Courtroom drama. Courtroom trial. The eyewitness took the stand in the courtroom and gave testimony crucial to the case.
Foreman.
A person in charge of a group of workers, typically in a factory, construction site, or other industrial settings. A juror who presides over jury deliberations and speaks for the group in court.
Examples:
Foreman position. Foreman duties. The foreman on the construction site is responsible for overseeing the workers and ensuring that the project is completed on time.
Announce.
To make something known or officially inform people about something.
Examples:
Announce candidacy. Announce the award winners. The third season of the anime show has been announced.
Verdict.
An official opinion or decision made in a civil or criminal case or an inquest equals an inquiry into the cause of an unexpected death. The findings of a jury on issues of fact submitted to it for decision.
Examples:
The popular verdict. Jury verdict. The Court of Appeals upheld the verdict.
Unlawful.
Not conforming to or permitted by law, illegal.
Examples:
Unlawful detention. Unlawful entry. It is unlawful to park your car in front of a fire hydrant.
Hell.
The place thought to be where bad people go and are punished after death, often depicted as being located beneath the earth, an extraordinarily unpleasant or difficult place.
Examples:
Run like hell. Hell broke loose. The battlefield became hell on earth.
Loose.
Not securely fixed or fastened in place or able to be detached or separated from something.
Examples:
A loose tongue. Remove loose hair. The inspector discovered loose bolts under the fuel rods.
Deaf.
Lacking the ability to hear, or having impaired hearing, unresponsive or unaware of certain sounds or signals.
Examples:
Deaf in one ear. Deaf child. The deaf student needed an interpreter to understand the lecture.
Scream.
To give a loud, high shout suddenly, especially because of fear, anger, excitement, etc., to utter or declare in a very loud voice.
Examples:
Scream a profanity. Scream at him to be quiet. She kept screaming for an ambulance.
Aisle.
A passage between rows of seats in a theater, airplane, or other public building, typically one of two or more running parallel with the main body of the structure.
Examples:
Aisle seat. The center aisle of a church. She walked down the aisle to the front of the church.
Desperately.
In a way that shows a lack of hope and a willingness to do anything because of the problematic situation, with great urgency.
Examples:
Desperately anxious. Desperately ill patient. The baby clung desperately to her mother.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples:
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Prosecute.
To bring legal action against someone in a court of law. To pursue or carry out something to completion or achievement.
Examples:
Prosecute criminal. Prosecute case. The attorney decided to prosecute the suspect for stealing from the store.
Chief.
Most important or primary, noun, a person who is in charge.
Examples:
Chief accountant. Chief events of the year. Mining is a chief source of income for the country.
Prosecutor.
A lawyer or official who conducts legal proceedings against someone accused of a crime, a person who brings a criminal case to court on behalf of the state or government.
Examples:
A public prosecutor. Deputy prosecutor. The prosecutor's opening statement set the tone for the entire trial.
Prosecution.
The act of bringing legal charges against someone for a crime they are accused of committing. The legal team responsible for presenting the case against the defendant in a criminal trial.
Examples:
Criminal prosecution. Wrongful prosecution. The judge denied the motion to dismiss the prosecution's case.
Lord.
A person who has general authority, control, or power over others, a man of noble rank or high office.
Examples:
A young lord. Lord of castle. The feudal lord had ruled the land for many years.
Justice.
The quality of being fair and reasonable and treating people equally according to their due.
Examples:
Criminal justice. Justice of heaven. The judge's ruling was based on the principles of justice and fairness.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Flaw.
A fault, mistake, or weakness that causes something not to be perfect.
Examples:
A minor flaw. The flaw in the legislation. Even the slightest design flaw in an aircraft can lead to a fatal accident.
Crush.
To press it firmly, usually with your hands or a tool, so that it becomes flat or smaller.
Examples:
Crush coffee beans. Crush a revolt. The car was completely crushed in the accident.
Psychiatric.
Of or relating to the treatment or study of mental illness or disorders.
Examples:
People with psychiatric disorders. Psychiatric hospital. The psychiatric evaluation revealed that the patient had been suffering from anxiety.
Grieve.
To feel or show great sadness or sorrow, especially for someone who has died.
Examples:
Grieve for loss. Grieve at the sad news. She grieved the loss of her parents.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Springtime.
The season of the year between winter and summer, typically associated with the blooming of flowers, growth of plants, and milder weather.
Examples:
Springtime blooms. Springtime breeze. I love going for walks in the park during springtime.
Disempower.
To deprive of power, authority, or influence, to make someone or something less powerful or effective.
Examples:
Disempower the employees. Disempower the opposition. The politicians' efforts to disempower marginalized communities were met with widespread criticism.
Examine.
To study or consider a person or object attentively and thoroughly to learn something about them.
Examples:
Examine the data studiously. Examine the issue. Initially, we must examine all project-related expenses.
Sink.
To submerge or go down below the surface of a liquid or substance, to decline or deteriorate, to cause something to go down into a liquid substance or sink into something else.
Examples:
Sink a lot of capital. Sink a buzzer beater. The abandoned ship slowly began to sink into the murky waters of the harbor.
Depression.
A mental condition in which a person feels very unhappy and without hope for the future, a severe recession in an economy or market.
Examples:
The Great Depression. The root problem of her depression. Depression symptoms might include a decrease in appetite and weight loss.
Chaos.
A state of complete confusion or disorder, often characterized by a lack of predictability or control.
Examples:
Chaos theory. Midst of chaos. The conference room was in chaos as everyone tried to speak at once.
Mayhem.
A state of chaos, disorder, and violence, typically caused by a riot, violent confrontation, or rapid and widespread destruction, a situation of extreme confusion, disorder, and damage.
Examples:
Snowstorm mayhem. Create mayhem. The rioters caused mayhem in the streets, breaking windows and starting fires.
Bicker.
To engage in a petty or argumentative disagreement, often characterized by back-and-forth exchanges and trivial accusations or criticisms.
Examples:
Bicker over small things. Bicker with each other. My siblings always bicker over who gets the front seat in the car.
Contentious.
Likely to cause people to disagree and argue, liking to argue.
Examples:
Contentious subject. Contentious debate. There are many contentious issues in claiming a patent.
Spotlight.
A beam of light used to illuminate a particular area or person.
Examples:
Spotlight effect. Spotlight moment. The singer was in the spotlight as she performed her hit song.
Horrendous.
Causing horror, shock, or a feeling of extreme disgust, extremely unpleasant or terrifying.
Examples:
Horrendous traffic. A horrendous crime. The horrendous storm caused massive flooding in the town and destroyed many houses.
Crisis.
A time of great disagreement, confusion, or danger when problems must be resolved or critical decisions must be taken.
Examples:
Financial crisis. Crisis management. The Chinese word for crisis comprises two characters, one for danger and the other for opportunity.
Shock.
A strong feeling or physical reaction to a sudden and unexpected event or experience, especially something unpleasant.
Examples:
Death from shock. Shock resistant. He got an electric shock at work.
Complacency.
A feeling of self-satisfaction or contentment, often resulting in a lack of motivation to improve or address problems.
Examples:
Dangerous complacency. Avoid complacency. The team's complacency led to their defeat, as they didn't put in the effort needed to win the game.
Flux.
The state of constantly changing or flowing, The rate of flow of energy or particles across a particular place.
Examples:
Flux density. Flux of particles. The town's population was in flux, with many people moving in and out.
Unseen.
Not seen or noticed, not perceived.
Examples:
Unseen danger. An unseen force. The consequences of the pandemic remain unseen as scientists continue to research the virus.
Historic.
Famous or significant in history, or potentially so.
Examples:
Historic accomplishment. Achieve the historic feat. The Chinese people have accomplished several historic feats.
Sphere.
A round object or geometric shape that is three-dimensional and symmetrical around a central point, a particular aspect or scope of life or activity.
Examples:
Sphere of influence. Business sphere. The sphere of the Earth is divided into several layers, including the crust, mantle, and core.
Influence.
The ability to affect someone's or something's character, growth, or behavior, or the effect itself.
Examples:
Influence a child's future. Influence the daily life. The former emperor had a particular influence even after he abdicated.
Confront.
To face, meet, or deal with a problem or difficult situation or person.
Examples:
Confront a global warming. Confront the issue. He finally decided to confront problems directly.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Mortal.
Subject to death, unrelenting and deadly.
Examples:
A mortal combat. This mortal life. All humans are mortal and will eventually die.
Flourish.
To grow or develop vigorously or successfully.
Examples:
Flourish economically. Flourish worldwide. The Ottoman Empire flourished for over 5 centuries.
Expose.
To show something by uncovering it, to make something accessible to some action or influence.
Examples:
Expose a crime. Expose a person to risks. That newspaper exposed a political scandal in a big way.
Apathy.
Lack of emotion, concern, or enthusiasm.
Examples:
Apathy in the election. Political apathy. The global economic crisis has led to pervasive apathy and powerlessness.
Commitment.
A promise or firm decision to do something or to behave in a certain way.
Examples:
A commitment to an alliance. Meet his commitments. His business commitments took him to the United States.
Crescendo.
A gradual increase in volume or intensity, often about a musical piece or performance, figuratively, a gradual buildup or intensification of a feeling, emotion, or action.
Examples:
Crescendo of applause. A rising crescendo of voices. The band's music reached a crescendo during the concert's final song.